Could you make an iPhone app? It all started with a simple question. I figured it couldn't be hard. I had been programming for a while and I had a vague idea of the technical pieces involved. Just no actual experience putting one together. Then came the suits, business meetings, handshakes. Before I knew it, before I even knew what was going on, I was the lead and only developer on an iPad app. The project grew for one of the largest international health insurance companies. The enormity of the task was not lost on me. At this point, I was already committed to a project I didn't know if I could do. For a company so massive that fronting me $5,000 for computer equipment wasn't even a second thought. I didn't notice at first, but they were even my family's health insurance company. The computer equipment arrived, and I got to work immediately, programming and typing furiously. I had a little more than a month before the event. Programming by itself can be a lengthy process, but once you need to actually produce a polished project that doesn't fall apart when someone looks at it the wrong way, things get dramatically more complicated. Even that beside, I had never used the programming language involved, the software to do the programming in, or even really touched an iPad. I initially projected that the whole thing would take a week. I didn't stop typing until a couple days before the deadline. Did I mention that I had never held a proper job up to this point? Sure, as a somewhat normal 19-year-old, I did the landscaping and lawn mowing busy work for older neighbors on and off before, but I had never filed a tax return. I started working every morning and didn't stop for 9 to 10 continuous hours. I sketched out flowcharts. I made calls for necessary information to people dozens of pay grades higher than me. I gave presentations. I drank gallons of coffee. I had almost no direction on the project itself, since no one involved but I even knew how to turn a computer on. A serious problem jumped up almost every day, and there were constant revisions, additions, and removals to almost every aspect of the entire project. But I didn't falter. There was no time to even consider giving up. Finally, it all came to completion. The app was done. I demonstrated it to the client and was instantly thrown into a bear hug. It was perfect, apparently. There's something very surreal about being asked extremely technical questions and instantly being able to give an in-depth answer. I had never before had such time invested in a project that I knew it inside and out. The multitude of iPads were loaded with the app, the client's employees were taught how to use it, and the client herself was pleased. I could finally step back and let myself collapse. Despite having no idea at first if I could accomplish the project, I didn't let that hold me back. I took a chance and put in the time and effort to make it work. I never worked in a set time schedule before or been responsible for complicated projects, or even had to answer questions about my work to people in suits. But I didn't let that scare me. I learned to be more confident in my skills as a programmer, and that just because a task looks scary on paper, when you put in the time and effort, you can accomplish it. Take a chance. You can accomplish more than you think.